What if the biggest threat in the boys' universe wasn't Homelander, or even Billy Butcher, but someone far worse? Someone who doesn't just want control, but wants to reshape the entire world into his own twisted version of perfection. That's exactly what Gen V Season 2 is setting up with the shocking rise of Thomas Godolkin, a villain so cold, so detached, and so disturbingly powerful, he might make even Homelander look small by comparison. Thomas Godolkin is about to become the deadliest villain in the boys' universe. Forget everything you thought you knew about Supes being monsters. Gdoken isn't a monster. He's something much worse, a visionary who believes he's saving the world by burning it down. This is the story of how Gen V Season 2 quietly set up the true endgame villain for The Boys Season 5. A man who's about to make both Homelander and Billy Butcher look like rookies in the Chaos game. Let's get into the shocking truth behind Gdoken's rise, what his new powers mean, and how his war could destroy everything and everyone in the boys' universe.
If I heal you, can you help?
Throughout the boys and Gen V, we've met many shades of evil, from Homelander's God complex to Butcher's ruthless vengeance. But what makes Gdoken so terrifying is that he doesn't hate from pain, he hates from apathy. He doesn't care about anyone, not humans, not Supes, not even himself. While Homelander's actions are driven by his deep need to be loved and worshipped, and Butcher's rage comes from trauma and loss, Gdoken's vision goes beyond revenge or ego. He envisions a new kind of world, a Supe-dominated utopia where the weak either perish or submit. His mission isn't personal, it's evolutionary, and that's what makes him far more dangerous. In The Boys Season 4, we watched as Homelander and Butcher spiral deeper into their own destructive ideals. Homelander embraced his role as a Supe supremacist, a godlike figure leading a cult of fear. Butcher, on the other hand, took his crusade against Supes to the extreme, embracing moral corruption for what he believed was the greater good. But now, with Gen V Season 2, the emergence of Gdoken changes everything. He isn't just another power-hungry villain. He's a visionary tyrant. He doesn't want to rule humans, he wants to erase weakness altogether. And unlike the others, he doesn't care who has to die to make it happen. Gdoken's character serves as a chilling evolution of everything we've seen before in the boys' universe. He's a reflection of what happens when power is mixed with intellect and apathy. Unlike Homelander, who leads with emotion, or Butcher, who leads with rage, Gdoken leads with calculation. He's calm, composed, and eerily logical, the kind of villain who can justify any atrocity in the name of progress. And if that wasn't bad enough, he's got Sister Sage, the smartest Supe alive, on his side. Together, they form the deadliest combination imaginable. Brute telepathic power paired with unmatched intelligence. Now, what does this mean for The Boys Season 5? Well, the possibilities are both exciting and terrifying. Gdoken's ability to control others with his mind opens up a terrifying scenario. What if he can control Homelander himself? Unlike Kate, who needs physical contact to manipulate people, Gdoken's power doesn't require touch. That means he could theoretically take over any Supe, anytime, anywhere. Imagine him turning Homelander into his puppet, using his strength, his influence, and his godlike image to bring his vision of a Supe-led world to life. That's a nightmare even Vought couldn't contain. Billy Butcher might also find himself in a morally impossible position. Both Butcher and Gdoken share one dark goal, wiping out most of the world's Supes. But where Butcher wants to kill them all, Gdoken wants to preserve only the strongest. That shared objective could lead to one of the most unexpected alliances in the entire series. Gdoken could easily manipulate Butcher, convincing him they're on the same side. And with Sister Sage's intellect, they could use the Supe-killing virus as a weapon of selective genocide, destroying the weak while letting the most powerful survive. But that plan would eventually put him head-to-head with Homelander, whose narcissism would never allow someone else to play God over him. And then there's Marie Moreau. By the end of Gen V Season 2, Marie's powers have grown tremendously. She's healed Polarity's brain damage, resurrected her sister Annabeth, and become one of the most formidable Supes alive. But that power also makes her a target. Gdoken could easily view her as the perfect tool for his vision, or worse, as the ultimate test subject. He could use her blood-based abilities to amplify the powers of stronger Supes while slaughtering weaker ones. In Gdoken's eyes, Moraine might be both his greatest weapon and his biggest threat. But not everything is hopeless. The one person who might stand a chance against Gdoken is someone no one expected: Polarity. Throughout Gen V Season 2, Polarity proved himself far more capable than fans anticipated. He helped uncover the truth behind Cypher's manipulation and showed incredible resistance to Gdoken's powers. In fact, Polarity's magnetism-based abilities seemed to make him immune to Gdoken's mind control. This sets up what could be one of the most epic showdowns in the boys' universe. Polarity versus Gdoken, two opposing forces of will and ideology, clashing over the fate of Supes and humans alike. Imagine a world where Gdoken begins recruiting or controlling the strongest Supes, forming an elite army of powered gods, wiping out the rest. Polarity, aware of the threat, unites with Marie and the remaining young Supes from Gdoken University. Their mission: to stop Gdoken before he triggers a global genocide. This could lead to a thematic and emotional clash that mirrors X-Men's Magneto versus Professor X dynamic, two sides of the same coin, both believing in saving the world. But while Polarity fights for coexistence, Gdoken fights for dominance. If The Boys Season 5 follows this thread, the stakes could reach an entirely new level. Gdoken wouldn't just be another villain to kill, he'd be an ideology to destroy. His vision challenges the moral compass of every character in the series. For Butcher, it forces him to question his crusade against Supes. Is he any better than the monster he's trying to stop? For Homelander, it challenges his ego. Can he handle being outmatched and controlled? And for Marie, it becomes deeply personal. Can she face the man who manipulated her into reviving a monster? But here's the real kicker. What if Gdoken doesn't die at the end of Gen V Season 2? What if he becomes the overarching villain that bridges Gen V and the boys together? With his mind control abilities and godlike vision, he could easily emerge as a central antagonist for the entire franchise. The mastermind pulling the strings behind Homelander, manipulating Vought, and shaping a new world order from the shadows. His presence could redefine what it means to be super in this universe, not as a gift, but as a curse to humanity. And let's not forget Sister Sage. With her unparalleled intelligence, she could be the one ensuring Gdoken's survival and continued rise. Maybe she's already predicted every move Butcher and Homelander will make. Maybe she knows exactly how to turn their feud into the distraction Gdoken needs. Together, the two could rewrite the balance of power in the boys' universe. And that's what makes them the most terrifying duo the show has ever seen. At its core, Gen V Season 2 isn't just setting up a new villain. It's reshaping the moral hierarchy of the boys. Gdoken's rise forces every character, and even the audience, to ask one terrifying question. What if the real enemy isn't corruption or greed, but evolution itself? What if humanity's downfall isn't caused by evil, but by progress? In the end, whether it's through mind control, manipulation, or pure ideology, Gdoken represents the next step in the boys' storytelling evolution. He's not just a villain, he's a concept, a terrifying mirror reflecting what happens when absolute power meets absolute indifference. And as Season 2 of Gen V barrels toward its finale, one thing is certain: Gdoken isn't just another bad guy. He's the endgame, because while Homelander wants to rule, Gdoken wants to rebuild. And that, more than anything, makes him the most dangerous Supe of them all.